cooperation, partnership, alliances.
CNBC's Managing Asia, Saturdays, 8:30 p.m. on ANC, the ABS-CBN News Channel. Take the road to success. Christine Tan questions the leaders for tips to get you there.
How do you do it? How do you compete? Are you still confident about the global outlook? How did you know you were making the right decision?
Hear insights directly from the leader.
Two important factors, innovation and marketing of that innovation.
Decision makers, people who make Asia one of the world's fastest growing economies today.
I don't believe so much in acquisition. I believe much more into cooperation, partnership, alliances.
CNBC's Managing Asia, Saturdays, 8:30 p.m. on ANC, the ABS-CBN News Channel.
Let's play
Hardball!
I'm Boy at Season.
I'm Boom Gonzalez.
I'm
back.
Still missing one.
I blame the floods the last 2 weeks.
Well, thank God I'm not alone anymore. And
Yep.
Bill,
It's good to
get
see
well
you.
soon, buddy.
Yes,
We
get
know
well
you're not
soon.
feeling well, so get well, Bill. Okay, we started tonight's first five. We begin with the London Olympics, which lived up to its hype as the greatest show on earth. The United States ended up on top of the medal standings, followed by China and host Great Britain. The next Summer Games will be held in Rio de Janeiro in 2016. And what a show it was, from the opening ceremonies all the way till the closing ceremony of the 30th Olympic Games.
Where do we begin on this one?
Well, it doesn't
Spice
put...
Girls? Let's talk about the Spice Girls.
For me, the production aspect of the opening of the Olympics was very grand.
Yeah.
But looking at how the games were, a lot of great subplots, a lot of great side stories. But London really pulled out all the stops for this particular game.
And the ratings were very, very high in the U.S. Despite the tape delays.
Right,
There were a lot of
right,
tape
right.
delays for NBC. They didn't seem to mind. So that's there were speculations after the first or second day, especially with the problems with attendance in
right.
certain venues, that it was going to be a problem. But eventually, those fears were allayed, and it turned out to be really well. And not for anything, but the competitions are really great. You talk about whether it's gymnastics, athletics.
Yep.
You know, the basketball games are well attended.
Right.
And I'm not even talking about the USA basketball games, just the basketball
and
games.
and the new sports that were introduced
Yep.
also were attended well. Well, in fact, I was able to watch BMX.
Yes,
which
yes,
was
yes,
a
yes.
new sport,
Yeah.
and it was very well attended.
And unfortunately, as I'm sure everybody knows, we weren't able to take
Yeah,
home
and we will
a
talk
medal.
about that in another show.
We will, really? Can we talk about it today?
Well, not supposed to.
Okay, sige.
All right, moving on.
Still in London, hundreds of athletes won gold medals in the Summer Games, but only a few stood out for their world-class performances. One athlete who definitely made his mark is Jamaica's Usain Bolt, aka the world's fastest man. He bagged 3 golds, repeating as the champion in the 100 and 200 meter races. What an achievement! Not only in London, but following up the Beijing Games.
Yeah, Usain Bolt arguably the fastest man on Earth, the planet, as far as the 100-meter dash is concerned. But a lot of records also fell during these games. The competition, as you mentioned, very tough. I think the world is really starting to be able to specialize in certain sports. And obviously, Jamaica has really specialized in athletics.
Because Johan Blake is also doing very well.
Right? So I think that is where everybody starts to go now, to really specialize. If you're not a country which has that much resources, you tend to specialize already.
Okay, so can we talk about...
See? That's exactly where we should be going.
Hindi ba yun ang segue doon?
Dapat nga eh. Yun talaga dapat yun eh.
So we still can't talk about
We
it.
still can't talk about it. Okay, American swimmer Michael Phelps also made history before ending his Olympic career. Phelps is now the most medaled Olympian of all time with 18 golds and 22 Olympic medals overall.
Wow.
Considering his peers, well, track star Usain Bolt, as you've mentioned a while ago, only wins 3 gold medals for each staging at the Olympics, and it might take a while before anyone can surpass Phelps' medal haul.
And you know, the funny thing about this whole celebration of Michael Phelps was after his first event, people were saying, oh, he's not the same guy anymore. Remember when he lost to Lochte?
Yeah.
So people were saying that
First
again.
race of the games.
Right? And
Right.
then, you know, they brought back memories of his adventures with...
with certain substances.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, but then eventually everybody started celebrating.
But you know,
well deserved.
22 Olympic medals. Think about it. And 18 of them gold. I mean, when we talk about Mark
Ibang
Spitz,
bansa nga, wala eh.
when we talk about Mark
Ay,
Spitz
sorry.
getting 7 medals in 1972, that was already mind-boggling.
Yeah, that's
And now a person has 22 medals, 18 of them gold.
I mean, just-
how many
yeah.
in one event?
Yeah,
No,
and
sorry,
think-
in one sport.
Yes,
Sorry,
and think
in one
about
sport.
it that way. Some countries don't have
A medal.
a medal or gold medal,
Whatever.
and this guy's got a lot of
Oh,
them.
yeah,
You know, and what he had.
But-
that's mind-boggling right there.
You know,
I'm not trying to knock any
No,
country. I'm just
right.
saying that if to put it in that perspective, that's crazy.
You know, a little sidelight to this is how the Chinese have started to really make their mark in swimming as well. Unlike many years ago when we looked towards US, the USSR and Russia as the powerhouses as far as swimming is concerned. Now, it's about America, China.
Oh yeah, they don't want to be outdone in any
Germany.
sport for sure.
Diba?
All right, and they led the Olympics for a while before
Correct.
the USA made their
Yep,
run.
yep.
Another highlight of the London Games was men's basketball, where Team USA successfully defended its gold medal. The Americans nearly bowed to Spain in the final. They also had a problem with Lithuania, if you guys remember.
Right.
Kevin Durant, Kobe Bryant, LeBron James and company refused to lose. And it really boiled down to that. For those who watched that game, it boiled down to talent.
Individual
to
talent,
me,
talaga.
and
Individual
you know,
talent.
everybody might disagree on that, but that's what pulled through in that game against Lithuania, in that
And
game
also against
Spain. Because especially if you remember the fourth quarter, they entered the fourth quarter only leading by 1. They were stagnant. They were not screening. They were not passing. It was just incredible individual talent. While you saw Spain, continuous movements, screens, flops. Oh,
Right.
sorry, passes. You know, and but they were playing such a great team,
But you know,
cohesively.
But do you think really now with this continuing penchant for NBA players still representing the United States and the world as it is starting to now catch up with foreign players in the NBA as well, playing for their national teams, the technology, the nuances of the game is really now being spread around quite evenly already.
Yeah, well, you know what? There is no doubt. It's been said the last, like say, 8 years that the world is catching up. Team play wise, there's no question. But it's a show that
Yun yung talent,
that
the
game
individual talent.
also showcased that individually, athleticism, explosiveness,
Mahirap pa
the
rin.
individual talent, marami pa hahabulin yung ibang
Oo,
bansa.
right,
And
right.
that's what saved them there. That's what, and I'm sure it was a satisfying win. You know, there was no question about that. I'm sure a lot of people wanted that game to be that tight.
Oh,
you know?
I did.
But
I
if,
did.
if you really want to break down the game from let's say from an analyst perspective, it was really a stagnant American game. But they still
Right,
won because of great shooting. They had, they had LeBron, who, I mean, there's nobody like him in the world.
And on the sideline, Coach K, Kobe Bryant, saying this will be the last tour of duty, and which already says creates a lot of questions for 2016.
I think the biggest question from a basketball standpoint is how long till the individual international players catch up in that respect, the individual skill level.
Correct.
Because that's what saved them in that game and in the Olympics.
Okay, and finally, while Team USA was busy in London beating the world in basketball,
Barely.
those scheming Laker executives were forming a super team of their own. A blockbuster 4-team deal, and Asita Lava likes this,
Sino nagsulat
landed
nito?
All-Star center Dwight Howard in Tinseltown. Many fans are calling it unfair, as Howard will now team up with Pau Gasol in the Lakers front line, along with the MVP backcourt tandem of Kobe Bryant and Steve Nash. Wow.
Okay, disclaimer lang, di kami nagsulat ng scheming part.
Wow. No, but I'm sure Laker fans all over the world, including the Philippines, are popping the champagne
excited,
already.
happy,
Popping the champagne. But also, there are a lot of these people that are saying, wait a minute. OKC still have something up their sleeves.
San Antonio,
San
OKC.
Antonio, yeah.
I think, I know everybody's celebrating the Dwight Howard
Which finally
trade.
came through after so much drama.
To me, the crucial one there, and I may be wrong, again, this is just my opinion, is the Steve Nash part of this scenario. Because, and I'm speaking from the Laker fans' standpoint who still do not trust Mike Brown. They don't trust Mike Brown for valid reasons. And they're Laker fans, right? But the fact that you have a Steve Nash there who can be a coach, who's a coach on the floor, an incredible IQ, two-time MVP, that might offset the whole
Mike Brown,
the perceived inability of Mike Brown to coach them into the finals.
But that'll be so much fun to watch. Really. So much fun to watch.
Skip na nga daw yung buong season, di ba?
Okay, up ahead we'll have two basketball analysts, Charlie Cuna and
yung mga tunay. Yung mga tunay na analysts.
Charlie
Hindi yung mga
Cuna and Mike
natin.
Abasolo to help us break down this weekend's PBA Rookie Draft. Don't go away.
Nagkukunwari lang kami.
Kunyari lang kami.
Imagine if you could always see life in the best light. Every time of day, outdoors or in. Transitions lenses automatically filter just the right amount of light, so you see everything the way it's meant to be seen. Maybe even a little better. Experience life well lit. Ask for Transitions adaptive lenses.
It's alarming to know that 7 out of 10 Filipino adults have bodies that are aging faster. Defy body aging. Live healthy and take Sustagen Premium with the multi-defense system every day. Take the first step to fight body aging. Take the Body Age Challenge now.
Viruses evolve faster than our defenses. Vitamin C may not be enough. Take Conzace with higher levels of zinc and vitamins A, C, and E. The #1 prescribed multivitamin. Conzace for heavy-duty immunity.
It's alarming to know that 7 out of 10 Filipino adults have bodies that are aging faster. Defy body aging. Live healthy and take Sustagen Premium with the multi-defense system every day. Take the first step to fight body aging. Take the Body Age Challenge now.
As we age, our body's ability to absorb nutrients decreases. Drink Ensure every day. It has FOS to help our body absorb nutrients better, to help us last all day.
Stay healthy, live fully. Drink Ensure every day.
Okay, you're still watching Hardball, and on Sunday, PBA teams will get to refill their rosters with talented young players. Hopefully, some of them will be franchise keepers in the PBA 2012 Rookie Draft. Petron, which owns the first overall pick, has made it known that they will be taking Cebuano giant Junmar Fajardo.
But this year's draft is more than just about Fajardo because it's filled with stars from the collegiate ranks, the PBA, D-League, and Phil Foreign prospects. As of last count, there are only 63 applicants left in the draft. We will confirm that with our guests. They're joining us tonight. Our analysts for the PBA Draft are Inbound Pass columnists Charlie Cuna and Mike "The Man" Abasolo. I was contractually obligated to say that.
The man. Okay. Good evening, gentlemen, and welcome to the show.
Thanks for inviting
Mike
us.
is always here. Charlie, welcome to the program.
I know. Let's start. Is it deep? Let's answer that question first.
Definitely.
Deep. In what respect?
Well, there's a lot of talent. You know, a lot of people who've been playing in the D-League. They were stars. Some of them were stars in the NCAA, the UAAP. You know, some of them from abroad, of course, and they came. They've shown their wares. I think there's a lot of talent at the guard position. There's a bunch of big guys who can bang. So it's exciting. There's a lot of new talent going to be infused into the league this coming 38th season.
But you think, Mike, that as far as what the teams now need, will it be more of the guards, the forwards, or will it be the big men? That's what everybody usually thinks.
Well, it depends on, like you said, depends on what they need. For now, there's a lot of options. Guards, forwards, even big guys. But they have a lot, teams now have a lot of options. That's it. The draft is too deep, and it's a free-for-all type. I'm sure coaches would have a hard time trying to choose who their first picks or second picks are.
Would stamina and longevity, as far as their physical makeup, be a big consideration, considering that the PBA is now back to a 3-conference format?
Well, definitely. I think that's part of the reason why teams worked out some of these players to see how strong they are. There were some tests to see how powerful they can be, how high they can jump. Endurance, of course, is a factor. Aside from being a 3-conference league, there's a bunch of big players in the PBA compared to the people they played against within the amateurs or in the collegiate ranks. So they've got to be able to stand up to the rigors of the PBA, and I think they can.
Okay, who are the standouts? We know the names who, you know, we have the Fajardos, we have the Abuevas. Who are the standouts that people might not have heard of, or people that might be, that surprise people rather? And I know there have been some workouts that have been held the last couple of days. What's been the word, the buzz?
What's the buzz?
I think the workouts that have been held, well, I know the San Miguel group had their own bunch of players to come over to work out for them. But I mean, I think this was really just to assess, you know, how fast, how high they jump and things like that. But that's not going to be the gauge of how they're going to choose the players. I think it's from what they've seen on the hard court itself. You know, a lot of these guys played in the D-League already in college. You're asking who stands out. This is one. I'll throw out the name. Please, Alex Malyari.
Okay.
This guy is about a shade under 6'4", maybe 6'3" and a half. He was lifted at 6'4". They measured him today. He's a bit under 6'4". This guy can handle the ball. He's a lefty. Plays good defense. Can knock down the threes. They say he's a Jared Dillinger type of player.
Wow.
We know lots of talent there.
Activity,
a big guard, guy who can handle the ball. I think he'll go high, top 5.
Okay, who are the other big guys that more or less suit your fancy, or at the very least are getting your attention? Okay, we already threw out Junmar Fajardo. You have Gian Chu.
Yeah, let's look at your top 10.
Yeah, let's look at their list. Why don't we look at their lists already as far as the first round is concerned?
What are we looking at?
Mike, who did you pick for the first round?
For number 1, it's automatic.
Charlie's first. Okay, Charlie, discuss yours first.
Okay, Mike.
Okay, Mike. Sige. Mike, punta ka na.
Well, it's automatic. Junmar Fajardo. Ever since 2 years ago, this guy has been scouted. He's a mobile big man. He can run. He has a nifty jumper. automatic.
Okay.
My next pick would be Cliff Hodge. Now, Cliff Hodge, a lot of people might argue with me. Alaska might go for Abueva. They were at that game against San Beda. Alaska coaches were scouting him. But I would say, for Cliff Hodge. And then my third pick would be Chris Ellis. Chris Ellis, for me, is the main guy in this top 5. He's a drive-in dish guy.
Para dun sa mga hindi nakakaalam, si Hodge and Ellis are both from the D-League and kasama po yan sa Sinag Pilipinas sa Southeast Asian Games.
Yeah, they earned their keep.
Okay, so there's Abueva, there's Pascual in the top 5. All right, let's go to Charlie. Ito muna, yung kay... Ito, Vic Manuel. We've been hearing a lot about Vic Manuel. Tell us about it.
Vic Manuel came from the Jaguars, PSBA Jaguars. He's a highly efficient player. He can shoot from the outside, long range, and he has good penetration moves. Very efficient, a simple guy.
Why Aldrich Ramos in Ginebra and Taha for Powerade, who actually will be, if ever the deal pushes through, will be playing for the new team that could be entering the PBA under Mikey Romero's Sultan organization. So why Taha at 10 and Aldrich Ramos at 8?
Well, I'm trying to give some size to the Ginebra fans. So I would pick a guy. Aldrich Ramos, if you remember during his FEU game against Ateneo, he proved himself to be a defensive guy. He's guarding Greg Slaughter at that time.
Right.
And he can shoot from the outside.
Not a traditional big guy, though.
Not a traditional big guy.
He was never known to, bang bodies. Of course, all of these can change once you get to the PBA and try to figure out what your place is. Charlie, let's go to you quickly.
Go to Charlie already.
All right, of course, we know number 1 is going to be Fajardo. I say Alaska's going to get Abueva at number 2. He's a strong player. They need someone who can help Sonny toss inside. Chris Ellis, he's an all-purpose guy. He can guard, I think, the 3 small positions, even with that height of his. And he's the quickest player. He ran a 5-point-something in the 50-meter today.
Wow.
Okay.
And I have Malyari at 4 for Meralco. I think they need a big guard who can handle the ball. Cliff Hodge, Barako, they're missing Don Aliado, and they need a big guy to help underneath. Cliff Hodge can do that. Let's see if he can be physical here in the Pro League.
Let's look at 6 to 10.
6 to 10, please, for Charlie.
For Charlie, if you remember, yes, go ahead.
I have Ronald Pascual. This guy can score. He never needs some scores to help out Mark Kagiwa. And I see Chris Chu. They're going to hate me for this, the fans. Chris Chu all the way down to number 7, but I think he's a perfect fit for rain or shine. He can help out in ball handling, and because you saw what happened when Paul Lee was out.
Yeah,
they have a problem as far as orchestrating is concerned. This guy's the smartest guy as far as the draftees are concerned. Aldrich Ramos, same. I like him in Ginebra. He's a big guy who can shoot the ball. They've got a bunch of big bodies, but they can't shoot the way he does.
So they don't need the ground and pound kind of guy.
Definitely.
Okay.
And Vic Manuel, I like him for BMEG. They're stacked up the bottom, BMEG is. But Vic Manuel, he's a steady player. He can help James Yap in the perimeter. This guy's sure about 15-footer. He can hit it all the time. And Dave Marcelo, he's a proven guy inside. He comes from a winning tradition. I think he can help Powerade.
Okay, but who do you think, amongst all of these names, who will be the steal of the draft, whether it be first, second, or the third round, if ever it goes all the way to the 4th even?
Maybe a surprise, yeah.
Will be the surprise.
The steal of the draft. I'm still going with Malyari.
Okay.
It's Malyari for me.
Mike?
Me, Vic Manuel.
Okay. So, thank you very much, Attorney Juan Carlos Cuna and Mr. Michael.
Are you going to put money on that, by the way? Just kidding.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. Hope to see you again soon. Okay, up next, PBA stars and celebrities are set to play an exhibition match this month for a worthy cause. The Rock, PBA star Asitaw Laban joins us for a chat in a bit. Stay with us here on Hardball.
Pong iyong mga tinatawag na bagong bayani ay wag naman po sanang pabayaan.
Naapektuhan kaming mga manggagawa dito sa Europa.
Iba talaga ang Pinoy. Kahit saan pa yan, kahit anong pagsubok pa yan, subukan natin.
hanggat kaya.
Kababayans are also praying for a peaceful resolution.
Isang German Pinay ang namamayagpag sa sports na taekwondo sa Europa.
Sa dami po ng mga naghahanap ng trabaho sa Dubai, nauuso ngayon ang walk-in interviews doon.
Sa kauna-unahang pagkakataon sa kasaysayan ng Kuwait, isang Pinay artist ang nagsagawa ng kanyang first solo exhibit.
Startup Pinoy software company, multi-million-dollar business na.
Gusto ko makita nila kung ano ang tunay na Pinoy. And we are always to be proud na Pinoy nga tayo.
We're born to have talents, not to hide it, but to show the world.
Kamusta ka pamilya, wherever you are?
Samahan niyo po kami sa paghahatid ng mga mahalaga.
Hatid sa inyo ang pinakamainit.
Hatid namin ang mga balita tungkol sa inyo at para sa inyo.
News about the Filipinos, for the Filipinos, all over the world. Here on ANC, the ABS-CBN News Channel.
We're back with you here on Hardball. They say the best qualities of people come out whenever there's a tragedy. So when the recent heavy rains and floods affected millions in Metro Manila and other parts of the country, PBA stars led by Asi Taulava agreed to stage an exhibition game to help out the flood victims. To talk more about their cause, we have him back in the studio,
Yes.
The Rock, Asi Taulava.
Yeah. Welcome back, big guy.
Welcome back. 1,000 people came out to see you, buddy, here in the studio.
Okay, how all of this started simply because of you wanting to help out, and you voiced out a Twitter call
tweet,
or
yeah,
a tweet
yeah.
saying, "What can I do to help?" And how did that snowball?
It just started off as a tweet. We was watching the news. Me and my wife was watching the news, seeing everything that was happening during the flood. And I felt bad about it, and that's when I sent out the tweet, but I tagged the press on it. What do they think of the idea?
Right.
I was just, coming up with an idea.
Correct.
And then next thing you know, it seems like everybody that was following me at the time loved the idea, and so they were pushing me. They was like, "No, you should go for it." Some people were saying, it wouldn't be good right now because, we need sponsors and stuff. And I was really surprised with the people that stepped in and being part of the sponsors for this charity game for the cause. And especially the PBA players and all the showbiz people that volunteered to play in it.
So is it bigger than what you initially expected?
Overwhelmed. These guys are just great, everybody that, only a couple guys I text and I asked them if they wanted to play, but majority of the players that's going to be playing in the charity game volunteered themselves.
Okay, how many players for each team?
Yeah, what are we looking at here?
Listed up.
I had to have a cutoff at 19.
So there's 19 players for each team, and who will be coaching these teams?
Right now, I'm still waiting for one of my good friends, to message me back that he's going to confirm, and then I will announce it on Twitter. But for right now, I'll be playing head coach on one of the teams, and just waiting for my good buddy. And everybody knows when I call somebody a buddy, it's a former teammate of mine, and we played together. So I'm hoping that he confirms too.
All right, the 19 is composed randomly by. Are these all PBA players? Are they mixed in with celebrities? Or what are we looking at here?
You're looking at 5 to 6 showbiz people with PBA players.
Okay.
And we're going to try to make it more fun for the fans. Especially the sort of flood victims. So let the fans enjoy it more. We're going to have, especially, I'm grateful to Tita Virgil Swatch, where she's given us all her endorsers. Guys like Derek Ramsey. Billy Crawford is going to be there. Chris Chu, of course, is going to be joining the draft. But the Swatch, she was very supportive with it. And then on the other team, we named it Blackwater. And that's what I didn't call. I hope he doesn't do anything funny, but so you got all those guys. So it's pretty much for the fans. I hope nothing comes out anytime soon before the 26th. So it's going to be worth it.
Okay. So far, you've already put it out. There's already a poster that's already out. Tell us when it's going to be, where's it going to be, and how much are the tickets?
The game will be on the Sunday, the 26th of this month. It will be at Unitas Pasig at 7 p.m.
Okay.
And the tickets right now, the special VIPs are sold out.
Nice.
Wow. All right.
VIPs is almost done, and then we just have lower box is VIP that's 500, and then we got upper lower box for $200 and upper box for $100. It's a small venue, but we made the the lower box much cheaper for the fans so they come in. But it's going to be worth it.
100%. We'll go to the flood victims. What are we looking at?
Everything will be going to the flood victims. Probably some small stuff that we have to pay for, but majority of everything is covered by the sponsors. All the sponsors that helped out.
Okay.
And that's one thing I'm very grateful.
So, August 26, what time does everything begin? Obviously, there'll be some sort of games before the actual